सबको मेरा नमस्कार. This is International Master and PhD Senior Trainer Sekhar Sahu. Welcomes you on behalf of Sports Authority of Gujarat and Gujarat State Chess Session to this intermediate training session. Today, I will be discussing some classic games and some end games. Before that, as I told you, I will show a line for white against modern Benoni. My recommendation, because I have been showing you only the black side. So, quickly a short variation for white. Ramakrishna, Parth Kuntal Rawal, Suresh Bhai Chavda, Vivan Vishal Shah, Vatsal Parikh, Samdhani brother sister, Veerabhadra Singh, Swayam Das, and Anya Agrawal, all are welcome. So actually it is a matter of style. White, I cannot say you play this line and attack. I cannot say you play positional line. But I recommended one line, and it is very easy, and I will explain to you the strategic final points. Then I will go to classic games and some endgame positions. So here, maybe here it will go on this file. Probably no. Give me a minute. Here in this file of Zamo, maybe here. G6. Now Bishop G5, BG7 and D2. No. What I recommend to you is this line. Hello, Anya Agrawal and Ramakrishna. This is how Korsanoi played as white. I don't see which game you are referring. I'm saying you this one. The line is I told you black should play h6 here, but after the move g5, you have to play because I told castle is bad, not good move. After castle, white can play e3 and you will never get it. Next move b2, castle, white is very strong. Next move will play h3 and it will be clear plus for white. So before he plays e3, you must play knight. So you must play knight. Now queen check. So you need to play king f8. because this is losing material, and this will play some queen check. Again, you are winning material. Queen check is coming, so you have to play king f8. Actually, it is not so bad. Yeah, I mean, black position, king f8, it is not so poorly placed. He can take the bishop later and take bishop f6, king g7. It is not dangerous, but some achievement. I think this is a premature move. He should wait till he makes a move s3, till he makes one move b2. So little bit premature. Okay. Now this is white is little better because he can play a 4 at right time. I can play a 4 at right time. Now giving the dark square bishop is bad and white is better. Because the queen is out of action on the queen side, he cannot return, wasting time to come king side. And you cannot open any pawn break. The black king is more vulnerable. So white pieces are better and simply white managed to win the game. It is plus minus. Because taking the d5 pawn will open line for white bishop. So this is the mistake was done early knight into g3. Let me show some games, the opening ideas. Now, actually, this is also an interesting idea. This knight. Now, he is ready to play queen a4 with b5 or bd7 something. So, a4. Now, in the old line, they used to play e3 here. So, Alexander played very aggressively. So, forcing you to take. Now, I think because he has made a move, now he is going to have a5 fixer on the queen side. And notice that e4 is there, there is some counterplay. But now, even if you play f5, f4 is too slow. So I would say the position, there is a threat now. He is giving some kind of threat. I think the position is preferable for white. I am only suggesting, it is not that it is plus this variation. And what happens? So here, so this is also a possibility. Now, these are mistakes. Black should not surrender the bishop. Fantastic bishop. So after this, white gets a better game. Better game. I mean, c4 is bad. Now this is a target. This is bad position because now d4 square is easily available for knight. So this is the line, a positional line I recommend to you. Hello, here Panchal. So this is what I recommend to you. You can also play e3 here. E3. Idea, now I want to play nd2, then you will never get that knight h5. Now the whole point is castle is bad, nd2 will come. Now pawn push, bishop, no knight h5. So you have to be very careful and play immediately. So I can play e3, then immediately you have to play this. In this case, now queen check will come and this is the line I recommend. Now I will go to some analysis of classic games. Why I see some classic games? When you See classic games. Number one, you will go to the roots of many openings. How an English opening was played, why the semi-slab this variation is bad. You get to know the basic final points of many openings. How to play against Leningrad system of that Nimzo Indian. You choose any player right from Stainis. People do not study the games of William Stainis, Lasker, Capablanca, or Alekhine. These four world champions were very original players, and everybody had their own typical style. For example, William Stainis, he was following the logical principles of the game. William Stainis followed, and he is the first grandmaster who set the principles for the opening or the strategy. He said that it is very important that you have to keep your king very safe in the opening and middle game. The king is very vulnerable. You need to castle quickly. The king in center will subject to attack. So nobody laid down the principles. So we need to castle, keep the king safe as fast as possible. That is number one. Then Stennis was the first to emphasize the control of center. I mean, these four squares, it is very important. Now, people realized when they control the center, they have a good game. They can quickly come for defense. Their pieces can come quickly. They can go for an attack with a knight established on e5 for kingside attack, with a knight established on d5 for a queenside attack. So, these are the things they realized that control of center, then establish a piece there. Of course, there are other things, outpost, and then weak pawn, weak squares, all these things. There are sub various subtitles. So center is very important. This is outer center. Outer center. If you establish a piece in the outer center, is also good. For white, f5, c5, very good. And this is called broader center. We need not go to broader center. I mean, the broader center is this. This is broader center. You know, all this. These squares are broader center. Maybe I'll do it in. I will do it in green maybe. So all the squares are broader center. Even they have importance. Suppose you have got sufficient pressure on f7 or c7. This is also very useful. This is very important that we should not ignore. So please note the central strategy. Number two. Then we go to open lines. You know, much noise anchoring for fruit selling. What can I do? Okay, so this is broader center. Now, a player will in the opening stage would like to bring the pieces quickly and castle and control the center. So when you see open lines, the great masters of open line, Tal, Spassky, Leonard Stein, Viswanathan Anand, Garry Kasparov, they have demonstrated how to make use of open lines. For example, now suppose I play e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6. Now bb5, you play knight f6. Now you castle or you play knight into pawn. Sorry, not immediately. It's castle, bishop c5. Now knight into pawn. Now in this position that white wants to take knight to knight and d4. Suppose you castle. Now you get a pawn, but black will have some open line. Compensation. You take, I will take. Now bishop retreat. I will not take the pawn at the moment. I cannot. I can take the pawn. I can play even move like rook e8. I want you to maybe attack. So this is a point that many times gives a pawn. For example, in the game, white was Anand, and who is black? Who is black in that game? Oh, the game Anand white, Aronian, Aronian. So he offered a pawn, and then he equalized. For example, the game was Anand Aronian. I will have to search that game. So I am talking of the strategy. I am talking. Sorry. So open line is very important thing. I can show you game Tal Spassky. I can show you lot of very important lines attacking by Kasparov. So open line. Next pawn structure. Suppose the pawn structure is bad, you will have problem in end game. Double pawns, triple pawns, it will giving problem. And if the both players are equally talented, both players know the opening theory, both are good in middle game and tactics, strategy, then whose pieces are more active? That counts. So Stennis laid down these principles. Of course, it is very important in modern chess, or you have to see the threat of the opponent on each move. It could be a direct positional threat or direct tactical threat. Okay, so let me show you some games and explain to you the strategic final points. Maybe, maybe I will show you. Maybe I will show you a game from is this one here. What is Montreal? Montreal is there. White is a little better. If black plays more cautiously here, now black can play here so knight c6, stopping d4. And then white plays this, black can play either e6 d5 or he can repeat. Now this is absolutely level position. But it is not to the test of many grandmasters that they want to play dull chess. So here this is not good. If you want to do, then you should have played e6 and d5. Then if you want to play here, then this is a better way to play. And now if you play g3, d5, it will lead to Taras regular line. This is called Rubinstein variation, Taras. You can do this. But taking with the knight, white got a central superiority. All the openings are designed for struggle for center. Hello, Tirthasa. Prakhar Chaturvedi, welcome. Devars. Hello, Udit Kamdar. Now, white got a tempo. Now, knight into knight. Now, if you take queen into, the pieces are simplified too much and chances of winning is very difficult. So, white is better. What is strong with white? That the queen is watching the pawn. That means you cannot play g6. Even if you play e6, you still cannot develop. So, this is an achievement. He wants to play sudden something and give a tempo. Now I will tell you, a player should castle quickly. Black walked into the preparation of white. You know, Grandmaster Portis was a hard worker. He was working very hard. Every day he will spend 8 to 10 hours. Even though he was in top 10 in the world, he need not prepare some opening. He was working extensively. A group of Hungarian Grandmaster Portis, Adorian, Sachs, Ribli, Istvan Som, Bilek, they were very strong. And once they won the Olympiad ahead of Russia or Soviet Union, the strongest chess country in the world. Of course, Hungary is also a chess country under the control of Russia one time. So they were very strong. So these grandmasters are working very hard as a team and they were working on new ideas. For example, now bishop g4 is not a threat. You want to concede your bishop and strengthen my center. I don't care. So he plays bishop b5. Threat, rook. Now just develop. Now notice your mind should focus in the eye of your mind. You see the central squares. Just see who is having better control. No doubt, white has the better control on these four squares. Okay, white is better. I think this is an unfortunate decision by Grandmaster Hubner that he surrendered the bishop for no reason. Tempo. I will gain a tempo. Now take it. Maintain the queen. White is having position. I would say this position already plus minus. Our strategic points: center, open line, king position. Even white better because white can still castle. There is no danger to the white king. He cannot. He need to castle. Even if you play e3, you cannot develop castle. So he wants to play e5, solve the problem. Now this is bad. White has an advantage, and if you play a mechanical move, you lose all your initiative. You lose your initiative. Exchanging queen, this is not much problem. He will play take, and you have to take with the rook, and then he will play rd8 and get rid of that rook. So the point is queen coming there. Now bishop c5 is not possible. Take and b7 pawn will fall. The queen is watching this point. Now he is going to attack the queen and get rid of the rook, and thereafter only white pieces are active. Now the problem is, such a maneuvering. You may ask how Pottis found this. As I am showing the game of Portis and discussing, Portis found the game of Capablanca and Nimzovic. I think Marshall. I'm sorry, Marshall. Marshall. Capablanca was black, found such a maneuvering against Marshall. And Rafael Baganian found such a maneuvering against another player. So the whole point is mechanically retreat or your advantage is gone. After B7 castle, nothing will come. So this is the one really, and this is absolute home preparation. The player has to work. There is no easy way to the top. You want to achieve your goal. Every player has a goal. You want to become an age group champion. Most of you are very young. You want to become under 18, under 16, or under 14 champion. Some of you are ambitious. You want to become a grandmaster. You want to become at least an international master. So if you are ambitious, you need to give some time with your school or college or other work. Still, you can devote 3 4 hours. You have to cut down your other things like outing, film, or television, phone. All these things you have to cut down. So, if you devote 3 4 hours to chess, working on the strategic idea, classic games I told you, mastering the end games, definitely you will reach your goal. But another problem with the modern youngsters, they use engine, a very horrible thing. It has destroyed the creativity in chess. Okay, I can give you one example that will convince you. In one match, Kramnik and Peter Leko were playing. Kramnik played some e4 opening and Peter Leko had prepared the Marshall Gambit. All of you know Marshall Gambit, Royal Spanish Marshall Gambit. You know, in certain position, Kramnik or his team, his group of grandmasters, they prepared a variation along help of the engine because Marshall Gambit is very sharp and attacking. So all the engine moves they fed and showed Kramnik. Kramnik was happy. And in the actual game, Kramnik just presented all those moves and Kramnik lost. Why? Because Peter Leko did analyze himself thoroughly. Maybe he has a second or whatever, maybe one or two grandmasters. He analyzed, not with the help of engine, and spent lot of time how to react to such a move. Engine is good only because it is memorized. That this position, this is a break. This position, this is a sacrifice. Engine is not simply bad in positional play. Number one, engine is bad in end game. It is not considering. Let the pawn double. But in end game, it will be very bad. Suppose you ask engine here, engine will show you. Please, you may feed this position. Engine has memory in the data for this similar. Engine will quickly find this move. This move. But if it is not fed with the data, then engine will show you that queen d5. You know, this will give. So you put the position to engine. Many of Capablanca's game, engine makes different version or Alec Hines. So if you follow engine, you cannot become a master, good master. Now, after the move, he played bishop, rook, take, now rook. So, we have got a position where three active pieces for white. Just one move. Black castles, black is wonderful. Absolute no problem. If black is allowed to castle, black will stand better. If suppose king has castled, then the queen is misplaced here. But that one move does not come. Now, check. See, this mechanically normal check is bad. And after this, black is good. Black is good. For example, now king, now king, now third attack. You have to do third attack. But then this lovely move comes. Attack on the queen, double attack on the rook. No matter what you do, the exchange is gone. Now rook into rook threat or bishop into queen threat. So this is gone. So the whole point is the tactical. Positionally, black has been outplayed strategically, but you have to execute it properly. So this is a possible move, a mistake. So you will jettison your position. So that means you need to play this check. Refinement. All this came in home preparation. Finish. You cannot now free the game. Now king is stuck. You cannot free the game now. So, okay, what else? Castle is bad. If you do castle, then bishop attack. Immediately bishop will not do. If you castle, immediately if you play this, he has bishop e7. Bishop e7. So you decoy the rook to unprotected state. And now this. Finish. It's all over. Must lose at least exchange. So this is bad. So game is lost now. So he played in the game king, but then attack, then bishop into and extend down and winning the game. So it is all preparation and strategical. Hello, Jitendra Chaudhary. Okay. Hello, Adi Chan. Welcome. Arman Naran. So I will tell you the amount of preparation, you know, how preparing for a tournament and preparing for a match is completely different. Suppose a player is playing, let us say, match between Karpov Kasparov or Anand versus Carlson or Larson versus Portis. It is a match. The whole preparation is only see the style strength of the player. Bent Larson, a great player. People don't study Bent Larson. A fantastic player, very sharp, good in end game. Okay, you don't see the openings. Now I was talking of a match. Now Larson wanted to beat Portis so that he will go up further and play candidate tournament, maybe semi-final, final, whatever. So Portis is a very difficult player. His opening preparation is par excellence. Middle game understanding is good strategically. So Larson used offbeat lines to beat Portis. Let us say here. The lines which are not good, it worked because psychology, just psychology. Portis, no, I will go to B. Oh, here, where is the candidate final? Here. I would say going to this one. Now, Portis was very good in whatever opening. His preparation for Larson was excellent. His gambit declined. Excellent preparation. And Sicilian poison pawn. He was thoroughly prepared. So, in this particular game, instead of playing Spanish, he goes for a simple line taking. If you look at theory, black has no problem because black has now bishop pair and the pawn cannot be taken. If you take, then queen d4 will come or queen g5 will come to pick up this pawn. So knight into pawn is not a dangerous thing. And you open the game, black is happy. Two bishops. So he castles. Now Portes decided to play sharply. For example, there are variations. You can play a move like bishop g4. You can play a move like knight e7. There are many moves. Now f6 is an alternative. This is 1. Then, you know, this is 2. This is second alternative. Now, you can play knight e7 also. Idea, still you cannot take. Now, when you take queen d4 and take, but the king is in open. So, knight e7, not allowing knight into pawn. This is not bad. The knight is heading. I am going to now convert to this and knight will head to king side, which is not bad. So one of the idea, suppose you play slowly. Now in this case, I will play bg4. With the plan, the knight will come. Knight will come. So these are the some ideas I'm talking. But in the game, Porthis played sharp line. What is the idea of the move? The idea, he wants to play bishop d7, castle, and start an offense after f6, g5, h5 and all. So d4. Now if you play slowly, black is happy. For example, you can see the game. White is Mary Sevag, black is Ivanchuk. White is Mary Sevag, black Ivanchuk. Black crushed her. He is a man grandmaster. So queen d6 line I recommend very active play for black. So he played d4. Now take. Now it was an end game was tested between white is Jan Timman, black Korsunoi. White Timman, black Korsunoi. This end game is absolutely equal. Now after the queen into queen, rook into queen, the end game has little advantage. BD7 castle. So a player should see when you are preparing a variation, you see it. So there is no charm. If black is allowed equality by 10 moves, then what is the fun? So he takes with knight into. Now I think here he is wearing. I mean Larson is going out of the regular opening preparation of that time. Now he is inviting. Black is inviting that you give, and then I may take with the queen. I may even take with the pawn. One of the idea, he wants to strike at the center. Originally, David Bronstein started all the creativity. It was the it is this. I mean, credit goes to David Bronstein for this variation. Now, what are you going to do? He is giving a threat, knight coming and giving a threat on the bishop. If you are ignoring, you will not be able to move the bishop. And if you play this, this is bad. This is bad. Weakening the square, taking away. So he played s3, not allowing that. I would say, there is more improvement instead of this line. There is a better way to play. There is a better way. For example, a spawn suck was recommended. I do not know which book I read. This is recommendation. The whole idea, if you take it, now the whole point is the G file is opened up. I can play rook, and now this is the next move. I want to come here, threatening bishop into. So I will show the very Sevag game later after this. So here he played queen. This is not the best move, but suddenly the player is taken off his preparation. So there is a threat on h3. Notice that if you move the king, it will turn out badly because then rook against the queen, rook against the queen. So development with the threat will come. So he comes f5. So now I think the position now opening the position when the black position not coordinated. This is better. Going for an end game which is superior for black. White. You have to dislodge. White is maintaining 3-2 majority. This is one point. And knight is poorly placed. Second point. And who is going to drive the central pieces? So this also he got an advantage. Plus. Now, how are you going to where the bishop will coming? The knight is a fantastic thing. Now you cannot this knight taking away all the squares, all the squares. So you cannot play this. Once you play, then there is problems will start coming. Threat will start coming. So he played plus. This is 3-2 majority. Of course, if you give it to a player, he cannot win unless he is very good in technique. So Larson had made the preparation and went on to win such game. You know, I will show you that very Sevak game because I was referring that game. It is important. Very Sevak. M only. Okay. This is the game I'm referring. So giving a threat. I'm giving a threat. So defend it. Now destroy. You can win a pawn. After bishop takes knight and you can win a pawn. But is it worth it to open further line? You will surrender. You will give double bishop and open line. So he plays queen. Now if you play bishop g5, I will play rook e8. It makes no difference. Rook e8 I will play. I will not exchange the bishop. And this is just bad. This is just bad. I can play here. Open the line. I don't care. You can take knight into pawn. No problem. White stands better. Black stands better here. There is problem. Rook G line will come. The center and two bishops. So these are the problems. So in the game, Mary played queen. 35th position. And it went on to win. So if this queen d6 line is really good, I recommend. Even great players are Swidler and Nigel Short. They have adopted this queen d6 variation successfully in exchange variation. Okay, all right. I will show you this line. Oh, French line, one game with French defense. Uh, French defense कहाँ से गया ये This is another preparation. So if you play knight into pawn, knight f3, he can play knight into pawn. So we should not allow that small practice. Now this is bad. The point is you want to take a very important minor piece. This is a dangerous piece against black. All the time gives threat. So is it worth wasting two moves in the opening stage? Suppose you have castle develop. This is a good move. But now at this moment this is bad. White is better in center and development. Now, the double pawn will be bad only if endgame comes. A pawn endgame. Rook endgame, no use. Or you get pawn endgame, knight endgame, it is bad. So that is far away. There is no chance that it will knight ending or pawn ending is coming. Better. The position white is better now because superior center and lack of mobility of black pieces. You watch this piece. This is badly placed, and this piece it is a good place, but there is no good room to maneuver. Now you come here, you will be pushed back, and now you play this. There is no scope, and you come here also. Which one you are going to hit? I will play f3, and there is no scope. So the good piece has no scope, and the bishop is badly placed and center. So already white is happy with the position. Now he is giving a threat. Basically, this is all preparation. This is a threat now. You can see the threat is nd5. And I will take the bishop and create a d6 target. I want to create a target now. Once I take, a target will come. So he has to return. Now I want to play a4, a5 and completely cramp. And if you play a5, you are weakening squares. I will play bishop a3, rook d1, rook double on the weakness. Go back. Now there is no need at a prophylactic. You never know a check will come. A prophylactic. Plus minus. You have to concede the bishop, and thereafter white has two better minor pieces and better control of open line and better center. So necessary you have to surrender, take, and white is better. Apart from the strategic plan of pawn storming, this pawn storming is coming. Okay, thereafter the attack will come. One plan, and white is ready to go into an end game where the black bishop is badly placed. Pressure. I will not allow the freedom of d5. Notice you should not mechanically play g3, weakening your position. If you know in a game there are a lot of choice, critical moment. Now I can play g3 or I can do a counter attack. So avoid weakening the king if there is a choice. So this is good. Now knight f4 will do nothing, no threat. Okay, what else you will do now? Knight attack. So I have to move the knight. So queen e3 is not very nice. So he comes knight. You cannot dislodge that. So after the bishop into bishop, rook into, and white got a clear better game. Master of open line, Larson also. You know, he was very good with counter attack. Larson was famous for counter attack always. So after the move, this is just bad. You cannot take my knight, and now white has got lot of tactical opportunities. खत्म हो जाएगा. अभी गया गेम. Whatever you do, it is lost. You cannot take the knight. You cannot take the pawn. And queen g5 is a nasty threat. Queen g5 is a nasty threat. You have to come. The threat is queen. So queen has to hurry up for the square. So now threat you have to go. He resigns. He resigns now because after you return, I will just pick up a piece. You cannot take my knight. Okay, Bent Larson was good. You know, I always liked Bent Larson because he was giving small twist to openings, and that took the opponent off the preparation. One such opening, you know, you should read Larson. One of his game I read notes by Larson himself, notes by Bent Larson himself. Okay, I'll show you. F4. But Larson was playing this very frequently. Opening should play e4, e4 good move, d4 good move, c4 good move, knight f3 good move. Magnus Carlsen has played all this, but Magnus Carlsen has not played this move because it is weakening the king. You are forced to go to a Lilliengrad Dutch reverse formation or some King's Gambit or Vienna. So this is a good line, not bad. You play e5, e5. I will play. I can make a King's Gambit. This is not bad. It is equal, at least equality. And if black doesn't know, then he will collapse. So this is good. And now I can take form. I can take this also. I can also take this. And now this is called what we call is forms gambit. They give all names forms gambit. So you take it. Now there is a threat. There is a threat. So I will play knight f3. Now this is a move. Idea, the threat, I will push this and come. How am I going to handle? This is mate, checkmate in one move. And if you play this very passive and cram, you will play. This is a miserable position. Not good. So the correct move here is to play d4. Now black will attack. Now I will play knight. Now this will take a draw. This is draw. The double pawn will fall. Double pawn will fall. He can attack. Both knights can come. There is another pawn cannot support. So this hardly any white can count on advantage. Cannot. This is just draws. The bishop is not developed. It's poorly placed. So this pawn will fall. So the Bart's player, opening players, they said that why this move? Why not this? Now there is a drawback here. The knight can be trapped after f5. ये गया अभी ये आ रहा है. He is playing h6. The knight is trapped. But once again, the pundits have found out e4. E4. Hello, NV. Good morning. Now h6, e5. So he attacks the knight. Now the knight comes here. This is a theoretical novelty that time. Novelty means new ideas in opening. Good novelty. You can take. I give a check. You come. Now, bed threat. Bed threat. This. हाँ भाई साहब सर आज गया था बात किया वो क्या बोलता है लियल निकाल देगा वो जो सर सर्टिफिकेट में है ओके और वो बोलता है कि वो सब डॉक्यूमेंट सोसाइटी ऑफिस में नहीं है हम लिख कर दे देंगे सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर है चलेगा क्या सोसाइटी लेटर देगा हाँ ठीक है उससे एक लेटर ले लेगा और क्यों ये फॉर्मेलिटी के लिए और बाकी जो है वो बोला वो सिटी में है और लेटेस्ट चाहिए तो आपको तालुका ऑफिस में जाके लेटेस्ट लेना पड़ेगा 7-12 तो वही है साहब बैंक अभी इतना 1,000 प्लाट उधर है ओके इतना बड़ा कंपनी है सो 7-12 वही चलेगा नहीं बैंक को कन्विंस करना है कि वो इतना लोग रहते हैं और वही है सिटी में है उतना काफी है ये 7-12 थोड़ी चेंज होगा प्लाट होने के बाद 7-12 मीन्स प्लॉट का जो साइज है वो सब है एक बार बन गया सो अप्रूव हो गया इतना प्लॉट है मैं सोसाइटी से इवनिंग शाम को लेटर ले लेगा जाके हाँ हाँ ओके ओके ऑल राइट नाउ बिशप c4 मेट थ्रेड भाई मेट बचाओ नाउ दिस इज नॉट अ गुड मूव दिस इज अ पुअर मूव इसमें क्या होगा कि मैं ले लेगा अभी मेरे पास दो पॉन ऑलरेडी बैग में है नाउ इट इज अ कॉमन प्रैक्टिस a grandmaster sacrifice two pawn for attack and take initiative पॉकेट में दो पॉन है और ये पॉन गिरने वाला है, ये आम पक गया है, पका हुआ आम है ये, आफ्टर कैसल ये गिरेगा। तो अभी कहां से डेवलप होगा ये? अभी ये पॉन कितना क्राम कर रहा है, ये डेवलपमेंट कहां से होगा? ये सब कैसल कर लेगा। सो क्वीन इज बैड मूव, तो वो क्या करेगा, इधर रुक आएगा। तो ही विल प्ले सम मैट थ्रेट, आइडिया यहां पे मैट। तो ओनली मूव, ना बिशप टेक्स पॉन, नाइट टेक्स, ना क्वीन चेक, क्वीन टेक्स। अभी ये चेक का आंसर क्या है? ये चेक का आंसर क्या है? क्या करेगा? कुछ नहीं कर सकता है ब्लैक, लॉस्ट। बट दिस वेरिएशन इज faulty. Why? Because when you play bishop h6, वो मैकेनिकली नहीं मारेगा, मारेगा तो हार जाएगा, लेकिन वो क्या करेगा, ये चेक देगा। तो आप करेंगे तो अभी क्वीन चेक देगा, आप कुछ करेंगे तो दिस इज विनिंग। अभी क्वीन एक्सचेंज करेगा तो ये एंड गेम लॉस्ट है, ये लॉस्ट है एंड गेम, दिस एंड गेम इज लॉस्ट। क्योंकि अभी दो एक पीस एक्स्ट्रा है और दो पॉन काफी नहीं है अभी, अटैक के लिए ठीक है, एंड गेम में नहीं चलेगा। So this is a novelty. Someday a player won with the, अभी ये मार के कोई जीत गया, मारा व्हाइट ब्लैक मैकेनिकली मारा, नाइट इनटू मारा तो क्वीन इनटू के बाद जीत गया। देन a player found out मैं बिशप चेक देगा, and now here black will win the game. I will tell you, it is not easy to create new ideas in prepared traditional line. Tradition means जो खेलते रहते हैं, जो मेन लाइन चलते रहते हैं। So here, instead of playing the move c3, I prepared a novelty. In 1978 National Challenger Tournament, I won this game with white. I played here a move like king. I don't have to do. If I play, the check is coming. If I play, check is coming. I don't have to do. I played king e2. I went on to win the game now. Now you have to defend. Knight into rook, you lose the rook. Queen into is winning. And after the move, some queen d7, then c3, then this is a miserable position. The bishop is misplaced, and now it is bad. It is bad position already. Okay. So this position I managed to I kept on winning the game. I just developed knight. So you are welcome. Open the fight. Rook g1 will come. So my king e2 in those days. Nowadays there is data and novelty, but it is I did not send anywhere. But this is a novelty I made and I won the game. So there are evolution of theory. So in the game I was talking what Larson did in Bart's opening. Where is that? Yeah. Larson. Maybe I remember the game anyway. I'll show you. Larson was playing a match with Ivko. So Ivko studied the games of Bent Larson. Hello, Chris Panwar. Okay, I will discuss Ramakrishna, your plan. The topic today is analysis of classic games and ideas. Basically, it is just strategy only, but I am referring to old classics and ideas from those great players. So, Bart's opening now in the match with Ivko, Larson Ivko match, Ivko prepared, she said Larson's games and 200 games Bart's opening, he prepared how to play black. Larson did not play Bart's opening only. Larson did not play one game also Bart's opening. Then Ipko said, मैं 15 दिन मेहनत किया 200 गेम so Ipko started playing Bart's opening. I will tell you a joke. I went to Hungary with my student. Many times I went to Hungary with my students. Okay. So one player was playing and I became friend. So he is from USA. So I told that when did you start playing? He said I was not a chess player. I am from USA and my girlfriend is from Hungary. She was a chess player. So I used to accompany for the tournament. Then I started watching the games and then I started slowly playing and now I am playing tournaments. But his girlfriend left him. But he became a chess player. So it is like Ivko became a Bart's opening player. He did not play a single game in a match. Now here, F4. Now, knight F6. Okay, you may play D5. This is also one possibility. Not allowing E4. You can play stop E4. You can stop E4 with this also. Okay. Now, you can play here B3. This is idea. I want to play BB2 because the bishop diagonal you cannot play here. Now the bishop, if you play, then bishop has no scope. You want to play E3 and D4, BD3. But what about the bishop? So they play B3. This is one possibility. Knight F3 is other. D5. Now E3. Now C5. Now bishop E2. Knight C6. Castle. Now G6. Now here white plays A4. Why? Because I want to bring the knight, but then pawn is blocked. So they play A4. Bishop D7. Knight A3. You may ask why knight A3? Why not knight C3? Because if you play, your plan is like a Dutch. Dutch players know the queen, it is a reverse Dutch. Queen will come for attack. But then this point, this a target becomes, knight will come. So I want to defend in advance. Now he will castle. Now queen. Idea, just playing like Stonewall Dutch system, white wants to go for an attack on the black. Now what is he going to do? Now maybe you will play b6, trying to develop the bishop. Now pawn push, bishop b7. So far so good. Here Larson played this as white, and he played some move like bishop d2, and the game he won, but not very convincingly. He did not win the game. Black had equalized. Then in the notes, Larson made only one sentence. He said, at this point, white should play bishop d1! Exclamation! Exclam! Idea! Now e4 is coming, which black cannot stop. Black pieces are arranged in such a manner that he is unable to stop e4. So white is now having a big initiative. In one of the national challenger, my opponent is an IM. He was an IM and I beat him convincingly. Same position. All I read Larson up to this. I read only this much from Larson's. Larson has written his best game. That book is renamed as Counter Attack. The best games of Larson, 50 games. So in that, I read only this much, and that too not on chessboard, just reading on the blindfold. Larson says Bishop D1 and White's E4 cannot be stopped. White has the initiative. Where is the weak point? Your knight comes here, useless move. Now I will push the knight back. BD2 I will push back. Now E4 can't be stopped. Now he played A6. Idea queen coming, but E4, and I got a big attack. Quick attack I came. If I pushed everything and I got attack. And I won the game. So it is possible. It is possible. It is possible to play this. Not easy. A 4 knight f6 and f3. You can play also you can play after this move. The theoretical move is g6. Ivar Gipsilis, the whole idea, he started playing castle, then queen c7 and hit for e5. Black should strive for this break. Black should strive as fast as possible this break. And Ivar Gipsilis showed how to play this. If you play this, opponent cannot fight with you suddenly in opening theoretical line. For example, let us say Ivar Gipsilis line. Gipsilis nf3, d5, e3, g6. Let us see. Gypsies नहीं है. Okay, कोई बात नहीं. I will find and but at this point this is a move. But Vasily Smyslov, he said, why this move? Why not b4? He said, why not b4? So c5 आएगा ही नहीं. Now if you play bishop here, I am having the same position. Compared to this position, now this is better. I am not allowing this move. And a5 is no problem. I will have a3. So the player start always improving on each point of time. So in the game, after the bishop g7, he played. I think the black should fight for e5 square. Now fighting for e5. nd7 is coming. Now third attack on the e5 square. Black better. Because now the knight will be posted and he will prepare f6 e5 plan. Just reverse Dutch system. It is just a reverse Dutch system. Black is playing like white and it is good position. Next I will prepare knight coming, then push the ring. No, Gypsy's idea, how I can not get it, I am wondering what is the move order. Maybe you have to go to Gypsy's game. I think. Anyway, let me not go further on the line. So this is all possibility. So, okay. I want to show a very funny line. Larson preparation against Portis in the match. It is in French defense. Year was something 66 or candidates match. Okay, I can go candidates match and search it. Yeah, here. Carl Larson played in 1965, where Larson won the match, but Tal was in poor health. So the quality of the games were not good. But in this particular game, Tal beat Larson. The threat is knight and knight, and the threat is pawn e5. Pawn e5 is a direct threat. So you have to now immediate threat is e5. Rook against the queen. So you have to stop that. But then knight b5. You have to come only move. And now white goes for a quick attack. Now e5 is met by, if you play e5, then f5 with a dangerous attack. Now e5, it is not so great here. You will win a pawn, but open the g5. For example, I will take pawn into, now pawn into, and now maybe I can play some move bishop to c5, b6. You winning a pawn, but I think you will come in trouble here. Maybe here I should play g5, g5, and you take. This must be plus. This must be plus for white. So he is not going to play e5 now. So in the game he played b5. So b5, and now white pieces are much stronger than black. So he took off the guard completely. A typical move suits Stahl's style. Forced. Now his immediate threat is queen e4. And if you compromise on the king side, like g6, it will be terrific position for white. So if you play move like g6, now ready-made on h4 h5, it is a very ready-made plan is there. Black is simply not ready to have counter attack. So he played move f5. What else? The bishop d8 is miserable. After bishop d8, I will play rook e6 and double. Finish. Pawn attack, knight attack, rook f7, only move. If you play rook f7, take, and queen h5, you will win the game quickly. So, over. You take my rook, I'll take your rook, and you take the pawn, then it is all worse. Lost. The position now, white is having a clear upper hand. So in the position means, I will tell you, Larson won the match, but this game, then he said, Tal said I was in poor health and the quality of the moves were game were very bad. Okay, so then he went on to play Portis, and I am searching a game, the French defense. Why I am not getting here? A typical idea. All right, maybe I can show. I will search that. It is best games of Larson. He had written that. Okay. So anyway, I will search that later. I will not take your time now. So I want to show you some games from that Montreal tournament 1979. You know, nowadays there are very few close tournaments are there. Close rating tournament has its own charm. You play open tournament, then you may get a weak player, you may get a strong player. But in close tournament, only you get selected strong players. So close tournaments has own charm. You know the opponent's color in advance. So National A was played, that is nowadays called Premier Tournament. In those days, it was 20 round, Indian National Premier. So you get 19 players, all color in advance, and you can prepare what opening they play. So it is a different charm. So nowadays that has all stopped because of the time factor. So hello, हाँ नमस्कार नमस्कार आज्ञा हाँ नमस्कार आज्ञा କୁହନ୍ତୁ ହଁ ହଁ ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ ଦୁର୍ଗା ବାବୁ ମୋ କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଚାଲିଛି ମୁଁ 11:30 ବେଳେ କଥା ହେବି କ୍ଲାସ୍ ଟା ସରିଯାଉ କଥା ହେବି ଓକେ ଓକେ so here in the tournament close tournament 1979 Montreal where there were uh, four world champions were there three world champions Spassky Karpo Tal so that tournament I want to take you Brussels 87 also. So let me take you to first Montreal 1979. So here, Munich, no, Montreal. It is Montreal 1979. TREAL. Yeah, 98, 79. I think this is the one. This, yeah. So this is 15 category. I will tell you what is category when the average rating is 2250 it is called category 1. Average rating 20 to 50 is category 1. Then every 25 points it becomes category 2, 3. Suppose you make it 2275 it is category 2. Now 2300 category 3. If you make 2301 category 4. So the higher the category, then the IM norm, GM norm are possible. Suppose you play category 7 tournament in a 10 round 9 game, you need to score something like 8 points to become a get a grandmaster norm. But if it is category 20 in a 9 game, you need 2 points for getting a GM norm. Category 20 or 22 means it is only world champion. Let us say tomorrow you get Magnus Carlsen, Caruana, and you can get Levon Aronian, Viswanathan Anand. So if such players are there in a 9 game, 2 point is GM now. You cannot get 2 points there easily. Getting a half point is a great thing. So category is every 25 points, one category goes up. So this was in those days 15 category was the highest. Today it is possible to have 20 category 22. I think beyond that it is not possible today because the rating is like that. So in those days 2700 was there are only two players 2705 one Carpo and Tal and the next player is some 100 point below. I mean Spassky or somebody 26 20 30. So they were not easy to make higher category. So that was the highest possible category in that time. So let us have a look at this point. In that tournament, I will take you to specific. अरे लार्सन का ही है ये तो ये I have to go back tournament again. I have to go Montreal. अरे बाबा, give me 1 minute, please. Montreal. I have to go to Montreal 79. Yeah. So here I will show you how the players were in those time prepare. I showed you one game. I showed you Portis Subnor. I just showed you that after the move, the novelty came. After the move here, the novelty came. Okay, this was a novelty. This was a novelty at that time. Okay, I will go to that other games. Let us see the game of Spassky and Tal. A classic game. I will tell you there is a psychological problem also Spassky faced because Karpov and Tal, they were helping each other in the preparation, but Spassky had nobody. So he had a psychological barrier against these two players. So he lost all four games with them. Maybe two draws. He lost to Karpov both games, Tal one game or draw. So this is where I think he lost all four games. So this is only psychological. He was trying to avoid lot of lines, got into mess. But anyway, Spassky came third. Karpov won the tournament tie break. Karpov, Stahl were same points. Next, Spassky was third. All theory. And now, next move, you want to play c5. Black all settled. Development complete. So, black is ready to take hanging pawns. So, these are hanging pawns. Hanging pawns, if the pieces, binary pieces you remove, then it is a big burden in endgame. It is a big burden to have hanging pawns when you cannot have active play. So, the correct strategy that at right time, black should open the game for his pieces for going for activity. You have to come prepared. You cannot suddenly play just like that. So here, demonstration, Tal played rook. This is the moment. Now, it is entirely psychological. Spassky did not know what Karpov and Tal have prepared for him. So he played pawn into independent queen. I think he should have taken that knight into pawn. And after that, the game is just equal. After that, but for psychological reason, he played queen. And now the initiative is becoming too much. You can see that if you give activity to a player like Tal, he is very dangerous. Lubozovic was very dangerous. Planinek, they are all dangerous. Bishop attack. Okay, there is no time to take the pawn. There is no time for taking the pawn. He played NC4, but then rook. And then rook will sack. I want to sack, but then rook should be ready to come and give the knight, queen, rook will finish the attack. And along with help of the bishop. It's all over. You have no time to take. So bishop a3 counter attack, queen will come. Again anyway attack is coming. So here he played back, but it is all over. Take, and now rook check, and now knight. He resigned. Hopeless. The idea, there is a direct threat. Rook check, queen check, and mate. There is a rook check and queen check, and then mating attack. Because the rook is guarding the E line. The king has no escape. King cannot come now. So he resigned here. So you can see that it is purely psychological. That he was simply worried to accept a variation which Karpov Tal has prepared. So he avoided and got into trouble. Hanging pawns, this is a strategy. How to play against hanging pawns? I showed you one class, again I will show now. See, you can refer Spassky is black, Petrosian is white, in Patigorovsky cup. I will show that later. Now another game, I would say, in this tournament, Lubojovic and Kavalak. Classic, these are classic games. Any question? What's opening is playable, fully playable. It is reverse Dutch. Arts opening, you are playing Leningrad Dutch reverse or Stonewall Dutch reverse. So it is like a reverse Dutch line. But when you play Bard, you should be ready for King's Gambit. Now, if when you play F4, I play E5, you have to play King's Gambit. This is the point. Or you accept and you enter the Pawns Gambit, as I told you. You can accept, then you should play. Then you should be ready to, white should be ready to play this move. Knight F3, now G5, white should be ready to play D4. I have showed you all this. So it is playable. In the game, so knight E5 is a good move. Knight E5, white theoretical gives white is better. Because it is cramping black and black cannot play C5. Now queen A4 is an annoying move. Now this is a really annoying move. Irritating move. Knight आएगा तो knight C6 आ जाएगा. If you play knight. So you have to play castle quickly. Otherwise, if you do other moves, queen check is very annoying. So only move. The pressure. Now development. You have to develop. This is a novelty. In those days, a new idea. You will see the idea later why this is important. Normally, a player will develop minor piece bishop f4 or bg5, rook c1, all this will come. But a new idea that I want to go after hanging pawns. So, this black, Lubojovic is a very active style player. He cannot play passively, so he goes for center. Now, this is hanging pawns. So, I want to hit, I want to take, and the pressure put on the pawn. After this, after knight f4, I will take it. There is a problem. You can't push. The bishop is hanging here. You cannot push. So he gives us support. So get rid of the problem. By that time you play, no problem. I am ready to push the pawn. So you cannot push. The knight is hanging. Now knight is hanging. This is what achievement for white. When you push and create a backward pawn, then the real problem starts from hanging pawn side. Bishop into forced. Now rather forced. Now there is an attack. You cannot trap my queen. Now he is threatening to trap the queen. Rook a8. Giving a threat to trap the queen. which will never come. Plus minus. The position center. The material factor is secondary. White's extra pawn is not the issue, but White has got fantastic center. Now C3 is unplayable. Knight attack, and I think it is decisive. Two extra pawns and better pieces. The position is gone. So everything changed. Everything changed on this new move. New move. Yes. Everything changed after this. Ready to accept hanging. And if you do not play hanging pawn, if you play like c6, ये बर्बाद हो जाएगा. ये बर्बाद हो जाएगा. ऐसा पोजीशन में now I will play some bishop f4, rook c1 plus minus. The more active move was knight e4. Here, this was the probably the best chance. No, I think what he says h6 is Sakis best chance h6. You know, at this game, h6 was recommended in some game of Sakis, and it provided some chances to fight. We will go from that particular tournament and show another classic game. Larson Tal here, Tal Kavalak, Spassky Kavalak. I want to see Spassky Kavalak. It was a double round robin. Yeah. What is the question here? Okay. Hello, Mukund Agarwal. No, where is the question? Okay, this is the question, Ramakrishna. I will discuss after the game. Maybe I can discuss now what you want. I will first show this game. I will come and tell you the opening move order, how to play against plan for black. Okay. Goes for the old Indian defense. Spassky was a classical player. Tal and Spassky, you give them any position, any opening, okay with them. They used to find plan on the board. They work hard on the board and find a plan. So for them, home preparation was not much value. Anchoring the knight. Now white has got some kind of advantage, but the squares are weak, and this is a backward pawn. At the moment, nothing. I cannot do punishment on this, but you will feel that heat. So want to exchange pieces and easy the game. Avoiding exchanging, then the bishop will come. He will get rid of the bad bishop. Then black is all problem. So Spassky avoids that. Now he says repetition. What is your plan? You cannot play h4, the g4 pawn, the h4 pawn you can't play. You can't easily do. So Spassky finds a plan. This time a different plan is done. Preparing for h4. So avoiding a draw. Now I will tell you, Boris Spassky is one of the greatest attacking players. I would put, if you ask me, five topmost attacking player of the world in chess history, I would put Alekhine, you know, Spassky, Tal, Keres, Leonard Stein. These are the players I'll put. Kasparov, of course, Kasparov. Kasparov. So, Anand Fisher, they were all rounders. You cannot put a specialized attacking player. They are all rounders. So, here, this position, the king is a vulnerable point. So, at this point, the great player like Spassky, Tal, they will think and make a plan which piece to exchange, where to place the rooks, how to make a pawn break, where to sacrifice a piece. So, already Spassky has made a plan, a four break. You cannot do this. If you do, these are anti-positional moves. Square is vulnerable. This will be giving lot of trouble. I will play pawn into, and now this H file is open. So you cannot stop that break. A safety move, a careful move, because number one, the pawn is protected and going away from checks in the line. Attacking players do not keep in a loophole. Now, if a normal player will start, now I will open up. Counter attack I don't like. At some point queen will come. So, say prophylactic move. Prophylactic, very slowly and steadily is preparing. Now I am all set. White is all set for the action now. Next, I will plant a rook here, and maybe this rook, and dump the knight. The bishop is working here, and the knight is doing a good job because the knight is watching the square continuously on the backward pawn. Number one, and knight is also watching that any kind of pawn break is not possible. So all the pieces are functioning well. No break, no pawn break, counter attack, no counter attack. So waiting, it is just one. Now starts action. You cannot accept that pawn. You cannot accept opening line and queen also watching indirectly. So you cannot really accept it. Done. Finally, you can see that he had positioned his bishop in time. The rooks are in all nice place, and this is the time to strike. हो गया काम. We will not able to. Abhi the queen will filter to this point. This will filter here. This break is coming. This is coming. You cannot stop. This is a इतना weakness नहीं संभल पाएगा. Now opening the line. So black has got some activity, but it is opening up quickly. You cannot allow a queen at 6 coming. वो तो गया. D7 threat. Abhi material is gone. What is left? The position is hopeless. Finish. The backward pawn. Now extra end game, the queen, the backward pawn, everything will collapse. So it is winning. Now B4, D6, it is all settled. Plus minus. B4, C5. The position is winning on queen side. He stopped the attack, but I am winning on the queen side. So you can see, hello, I never knew, okay. Now I want to say Ramakrishna's question I will ask. So what question he has asked me? D4, D5, then C4, E6, knight C3, knight F6, CD, ED, bishop G5, B E7, E3, C6, BD3, BD3. You want to play BG4? No, I would say you know, एक तो I advised you, you can avoid the exchange variation. क्वींस गैम्बिट एक्सचेंज वेरिएशन ये जो है सी डी मार मार के बी डी थ्री ये अभी प्लान इज यू कैसल व्हाइट विल प्ले नाइट ई टू you know Kasparov beat Nigel shot very easily with this setup. So you can avoid all this. आपको अगर avoid करना है यहाँ पर I told you B7. Now taking is bad because your bishop must come to D3. Otherwise you will have no good square. तो कहाँ से आएगा? You cannot play now. The C1 bishop is blocked. That means you have to play BF4. Now I play E3, C6. Now E3, I will play bishop. Now I am taking the diagonal. तो ये बिशप को लेके कहाँ जाओगे बाबू? बाबूजी, ये बिशप कहाँ जाएगा? So, so here in this position, maybe here you can play queen c2 so that the bishop cannot come. The bishop cannot come now because queen is watching the square. So here, next move, here what you can do, you can play here, you can play g6. Idea, want to play bishop f5. Solving the problem. It's not that easy. Okay, bf5 is coming. This way you can play. But anyway, supposing you have played, not that it is a winning position. Now you play bishop. Now e3, you play c6. Now what is the question here? Bishop d3. Now you don't have to play. You don't have to play bishop g4. You don't have to do this. I think the position it is fully playable. In this position you play here bd3. This position you don't have to worry and play bishop g4 here. Just a minute here. Some Burma king. I mean Burma king's game. I think I remember. Just a minute. No, not clipboard. So I'm showing you path how to equalize the scale. How to equalize I'm showing you. The idea, what is the idea? Here, this is the strong piece. I want to exchange this piece, which is not easy. That means I have to come here, one, two, three. Then you are behind in development. So this is a good move because the immediate threat was bishop takes knight and plays bishop into pawn. H7. So you don't have to play these are bad. So this is a good move stopping. And another idea, the knight is coming to exchange. Go back. He has stopped the plan, but he's allowing counterplay on the queen side. So this is not very nicely played by white. Maybe here. I would rather so. Good move because bishop has no retreat. Now bishop is forced to exchange. The whole point is now if you play castle, normal moves, there is some trap is involved. So immediately I want to decide. You have to exchange. Solve हो गया problem. Now you cannot take such a pawn because it will get trapped. Nothing here. And here I will come back and there is no attack. So this is good one. One. Black is good. So this is, please note that this plan is very good. Okay. So knight h5 is a good move. Nihal Sarin versus Alexandrov. Nihal Sarin is coming up very fast, a very talented boy. He should become a super grandmaster. Already he is 26 plus. Exchange that bishop. No bishop g3. Now white attack, but white has to castle. The problem is white can open up, but his pieces are not yet ready. And the bishop is exchanged, so there is no danger to black on the dark squares. You have to defend it. The center has opened up. So white cannot attack when the center is open. Only when the center is closed, you can concentrate on the flank. So this is a very nice way to play. Now this does not work. White is very our grandmaster Adiman versus Boris Sanchenko. So g4 is bad. Now there is no attack on the black king. The only plan for white, he has to go for minority attack. Prepare for this and take the pawn and create a target. No, this is now in this position, whatever good or bad, he should play rook b1, preparing for b4, b5. And if you play a5, you should play a3. You play nd7, now b4. This is how you should continue. But there is a problem here. You can take, and play b5. Idea, the knight will enter now. So both are weaknesses. In this case, you may play e4. So both of side have problem. So in the actual Adi1 game, what happened? He played here. Very talented and good tactician, Adi1. If you observe, Adi1 plays good with black pieces. Why? You see, you must go into the core of the player's mind and heart, because his plus point is his calculating ability. His plus point is his imagination. So he is finding counter attack, a typical of Talspersky or Anand. But white his result is not that compared to black. Why? Because the preparation. Suppose you give tomorrow Anish Giri, you give Swidler or Kramnik, work with Adivan 1-1, he will become a superstar. But इंडियन कहाँ होता है इंडिया में? पॉलिटिक्स के लिए टाइम नहीं है. गवर्नमेंट विल से इफ यू विन अ मेडल, ग्रेट प्लेयर, गिव हिम पद्म विभूषण अवार्ड. यू लाइक विनर्स एंड यू अप्रिशिएट, बट तब तक खुद का पैसे से ऊपर आओ. So a player like Adiban, a player like Nihal Sarin, I think Nihal Sarin has got some good sponsorship from Karnataka. But Adiban, I think he needs support and sponsorship. So a player will come up, very talented player. So here, this break. No more. I think the white has ended up with a weakness. You cannot play take. There is nothing. So the strategically he has played, and queen takes pawn trap. Queen trap हो जाएगा. So black has worked strategy. Black is a chess teacher. Black Boris Sanchenko. He is I think chief of some sports culture chess only in Russian school. End of the white initiative. Now he's turned out to be bad. Now no initiative for white. So before he comes sometimes, so he tried to open up, but there is a problem now. If you take queen takes pawn, a central pass pawn will pawn into pawn with a clear better game. Plus, no, this is not going to work. It is interesting, but it is already a bad position. The position is interesting. Just given exchange sack, but it will not go now normally. Consolidation started and won the game. So this is a good model game that how to play. Even if you played that move, it is not bad. What is the question you are asking? I sent you a game, Dubo Daniel versus Karyaki. I will see that game. Maybe in the afternoon session. I will not go back to the mail now. I will see in the afternoon session. Going back to the Montreal tournament. Tell you, Robert Hubner versus just a minute here. Kavalak Hubner. कहाँ है भाई कावाला हिबनर मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है कावाला हिबनर हिबनर ब्लैक sometimes the player gets a brain bag they think in their mind they are like Bronstein or Tal or something sacrifice okay 95 threat so he stops that now you can also you don't have to push this piece because you can use the square now also this is a good one because after bishop takes queen takes you can use that square sometime knight can go to the square sometime mechanical you should not play so it's an interesting idea I don't know Boleslavsky I think Boleslavsky used this idea and won with somebody so here so the typical break now black has to plan either he can castle b7 and short castle I think it's okay the black structure on the inside is safe and solid castle short but this is trying to hit the center so now giving a rook it is just hoping the attack will come. Now he is threatening that knight and he is preparing to exploit that g6 and f7 weakness. Suppose you play here, knight here, then he has an excellent game. Knight g6 threat, queen f7 mate, and now excellent game. But what he did here, knight c7. तो अभी क्वीन अटैक्ट है तो कहाँ टाइम है सब कुछ सेट हो गया यू आर ए रूक डाउन यू आर होल रूक डाउन अटैक खत्म you be satisfied with exchange. That's all. End of the attack, and black will consolidate. So a player should not give without a proper home preparation whole rook. Eh? Hello, Marth Godani. I will see that game in the evening. Dubo Karyakun is afternoon session. I will see. Hello, Nandini Lakhwani. Okay. You want white, not black. I will discuss that game. Lot of interesting games came in that tournament. One more game I'll show you. The idea of the move order, that if you play normal move, then you can also play Grunfeld. Of course, White can prepare, but you can force him to play King's Indian. Avoiding Grunfeld is a good one. And if you play at this point Grunfeld, it is not good because takes queen check. Now queen is not possible, and after c6, knight into knight, you get a good game. This position is good because this is exposed. This is not good. And if you play some move like bishop d7, I can play queen d4, force the knight back, or I can go back queen h4. Now you have to decide about the knight. Knight to knight is bad. White center is better. b5 open. White has more development. So you should not play d5 at this moment. This is not the right move. So now d5. So e4. So we transpose to regular line of King's Indian. Now it's a critical moment. Here you can play. This is called the Larson system. You can castle and wait. Knight to come. You can claim knight to come. Then you have got one push. Knight to come. This is the main line. Now knight e1, knight d3. This is called the Korchnoi system. Now b3, f5, f3. Here this is white has got some queenside activity. Very quick queenside. Very quick queenside activity. And black goes on king side. There is a race. White queen side or black's king side. White is little ahead. As on today, white is little better, but not easy. Continuously watch. You have to watch the threats on king side. Porcelain variation. But I recommend it is much easier if you want to play on queen side. Why waste knight e1, knight d3, b3? सीधा सीधा nd2 खेलो. सीधा सीधा. This is called Pano variation. With the idea b4 and then c5. My next plan is to play b4 and c5. And if you play a5, I will play rb1 with the idea a3, b4 and then c5. This is very easy line. I would say against for King's Indian players, this Pano is really headache. This is not an easy line. That means you have to play a move like this, but temporarily. You are stopping my activity temporarily. मैं ये भी आएगा, फिर भी a3 b4 खेलेगा. Next move I will play a3 b4 खेलेगा. And वो बोलेगा अपना टाइम आएगा. So I recommend you to play Pano if you are a d4 player, and it is probably giving the hard time to black. Maybe I will default some session for King's Indian. So in the game, he plays, no, he takes pawn into pawn. This is giving a bind. See, this is Maragji bind. If pawn is here, this is called Maragji bind. But this is not Maragji bind, this is still white is better. Now this is, it is bad. Then you are open up for this up. So white stands better. F line. Now white stands clearly better. d6 square, f7 point. You do anything on king side is bad. Or white is strong on the king side. You do all these things are bad. So in the opening itself he got uh, outplayed. It is pure psychological. He did not like both were preparing together for Spasi because they knew If the Spassky is down, other players cannot catch them. The only player who can give them headache is Spassky. So they both of them prepared together and outmaneuvered Spassky. ये तो गया अभी. क्या रखा है एक्सचेंज में कुछ कंपनसेशन नहीं. नथिंग. ऑल दिस इज गॉन. इज ऑल टेम्पररी. कुछ नहीं होगा. हो गया टाइम. My friends, I will be back at 2:30. I will discuss that game of what doubt Birabhadra is having and other classical game. I will take you to some classics because unless and until you know a lot of good classic games, then you will not know the final point in many well-known opening lines. That is the reason Gary Kasparov has written some fantastic books. Evolution in 70s. That evolution of chess theory and modern game. Fantastic book. In his book, My Predecessors, a very good book. Evolution of 70s, very good book. Okay. So I will see you 2:30 again. तब तक सबको मेरा नमस्कार. Take care. Bye.